Hey everybody, it's Shadowstar and Crystal here for another review of The Flash. This time it's episode 15, King Shark. But before we get to that, we'll pick up right where the episode left off with Jay dying. So Jay dies and Caitlin gets upset and the other people get upset and Barry blames himself and it's all that usual stuff and at least the character's being moody throughout most of the episode, which...
A lot of characters are acting really different. I mean, the thing I hate about the Caitlin plot, about how Cisco is worried about her becoming Killer Frost, the thing is, he's worried that the double grief of first Ronnie and now Jay would be what drives her to become Killer Frost. But Cisco knows that in Earth 2, Killer Frost has the love of her life. She has Ronnie, and yet she still became Killer Frost before Ronnie died. So clearly death is not what triggered her to become Killer Frost on Earth 2. So why did he think that's what would cause our Caitlin to become Killer Frost?
I don't know. He's an idiot. And Caitlin's being moody, but then she's all right for the most part. She's still upset, but she's still all right.
Similarly, Jessie is also quite moody for a while. It's to be expected, I guess. She's in a new place, and that's true. She does have to take her time to make peace with having to be trapped there, but especially in the deleted scenes, she even compares it to being a prisoner. She says, first I was Zoom's prisoner, now yours, which is stupid because, you know, when she was Zoom's prisoner, she was literally stuck there, standing there doing nothing. Now, yes, her friends aren't there, but she has a whole world to explore. Harry explains to her that he can't go out, which makes me wonder how he went and got Big Belly Burger for them.
He delivered it.
But Jessie does not have a doppelganger, so she can go out all she wants.
Well, don't worry, she won't be trapped in a room forever. We'll get more into that soon.
Yeah.
But getting back to the Jay stuff, not much else comes from it other than a not cliffhanger, but just an extra bit, which is not information revealed to the heroes, it's information revealed to us, the audience, where you see Zoom arrive back in his lair with Jay's dead body. You see the man in a mask looking, and he looks absolutely terrified.
How does he look terrified when we can't see his face?
The subtitle says shudders in fear.
Yeah. Well, not everyone watches with subtitles.
A lot of people do. But then Zoom finally, after this many episodes, takes his mask off. It's 15 episodes and we finally kind of get a reveal that just asks a lot more questions.
He looks exactly like Jay, as in he's the same actor.
That's all we'll say for now.
For some reason, he's fine with showing the guy in the mask that.
Maybe the guy in the mask already knew, which is why he was terrified. It'll make more sense when we get on with this.
Yeah. I don't know how much the guy in the mask knows, like, because he was terrified seeing Zoom carrying Jay.
We'll have to get into that when we learn more about why they look alike, but that's all we'll say for now. Don't worry. It won't be long before we get more information.
Yeah, we can't really say much about it because we know what's going on. We're trying to keep these spoiler free. So let's move on to other stuff.
Well, speaking of King Shark, Argus is here, and with Argus, we have Lila and Diggle coming to this episode.
Yeah. Also, we got a nice line between Diggle and Cisco, revealing that Cisco made his helmet.
It also implies that Cisco is going to upgrade his helmet, which is something I've been meaning to comment on in the Arrow reviews. Apparently, throughout the first half of Season 4, a lot of fans really thought that Diggle's helmet looks stupid. And I kind of get it, but it's alright. Yeah. But apparently this implies they're going to upgrade it, which I guess is what a lot of fans are hoping for, because, yeah, a lot of fans didn't like Diggle's original helmet. But yeah, I don't think Arrow ever said that Cisco made the helmet. Maybe they did in the first episode of the season, but I don't think so.
I don't think they ever mentioned that.
But
speaking of Arrow characters, So Diggle's last moment of the episode is he gets a call from Oliver, but it doesn't really indicate what it's about. Speaking of calls, Barry's been trying to call Felicity and she's not answering him for some reason.
And he also asks how she's doing.
Yeah.
Which,
with
you
the
know,
whole wheelchair thing.
Well, I mean, they've got something similar. The season villain broke their back. Now she needs to go up to him and hit her and say, "How could you not tell me Damien broke your back?" For those remember that happened in the crossover.
Yeah.
But like I've always said, I love how Diggle and Lila were here, but it's not, it's the big Diggle episode. They're just here and it feels natural.
Yeah,
it just makes sense that they're here.
One thing that doesn't make sense is that when they're in Star Labs, Harry mentions King Shark is the way he is because of my particle accelerator, and Lila doesn't ask your particle accelerator. Also, Harrison Wells, you're alive. What the hell is going on?
I guess we just have to assume Lila and Diggle got an update off screen. That would make sense. They can be trusted with that information, because I don't believe Diggle has ever encountered this Wells yet before either. They didn't meet in a crossover. Wells stayed at Central City. So yeah, we'll just have to make the obvious assumption they got told off screen, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. Well, no, I think there has only been 2 times we've seen Wells actively outside. Maybe he has never gone outside except those 2 times. But that's about it. We know he went outside when he stole some gun or something from Mercury Labs. And when he, for some reason, went to get something from his car and Patty saw him.
Yeah.
Both times he went out, somebody saw him, so...
I guess he learned his lesson from that. Especially after Patty came into Star Labs and shot him.
So, anyway... Getting back to King Shark, we do have King Shark, which, we finally get the King Shark episode people were waiting for. And it makes sense that he's with Argus, because in the comics, or at least some versions of the comics, I think King Shark is one of the members of the Suicide Squad.
Uh-huh.
In fact, in I don't know if it's upcoming or if it already came out, but in the upcoming Suicide Squad movie, King Shark's going to be in it.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of interesting people who could have been in that. But anyway, getting back to this DC world.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, King Shark's fun. He's not a villain with charisma or anything, but he's just fun because he's one of like Grodd, he's one of the few villains who are pure CGI because there's no person playing them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I've noticed they do better CGI on non-humans. Like when Barry's running and they're in the water, you can see Barry when he's CGI and it just looks wonky, but when it's King Shark, it looks fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was still a good sequence. It does raise a question. King Shark destroyed the roof of their house. Now, spoiler alert, next time we see the house, the roof will be completely fine. I guess they just fixed it. No fuss made about that.
Joe even made a joke like, I don't think my home insurance covers shark attack.
That raises an interesting question. In a city like Central City, which has become adept at learning that they get
Would
all
they
crazy...
add it to insurance?
Would that become part of certain insurance policies, that you pay extra, you get metahuman insurance or something? What if Weather Wizard rolls into town again? Is that an act? Do they have to actively test if it was a weather tornado or a normal tornado damage?
Yeah, true. You could just blame it on tornado.
Whatever. We also, speaking of Joe, we have an annoying side plot with Wally. He's still being a moody, annoying character. I swear he becomes a good character eventually, guys.
At first, I thought Wally was in the wrong. He was being a bit pissy about Barry helping him. But I agreed that Barry was just correcting his work. But then later on, Barry was the bad one because he sort of took over and was doing it for him. In the end, Wally kind of admitted that he didn't like Barry because Joe and Iris talk about him like he's perfect.
Oh, well, whatever. I swear, it's not going to be too much longer till we get to some good Wally stuff. I mean, we've just finished episode 15. We're really getting into it, and I'm trying to remember what episodes come next. I know what comes next, but I'm trying to remember what comes after that. It just really keeps rolling on.
Yeah.
But speaking of other stuff, speaking of the moody characters, as Wells mentions at the beginning, it's a dumb idea for Cisco and Barry to talk about Earth 2 with people. So what do they all go and do? They tell everyone.
I mean,
Cisco tells Caitlin, and Barry goes and tells Joe and Iris, and we all get this stupid drama.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, they all take it well. They don't seem to be too bothered by the Joe and Iris stuff, and Caitlin seems to make a joke about it for the most part, other than finding it annoying that Cisco's paranoid.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing. Cisco's being stupid. Okay, it's fine that he's worried that, her grief is going to get the best of her, but it's dumb that he's worried that she's actually going to become Killer Frost.
Well, I don't think he's actually worried she's going to develop powers, but maybe he's worried she's going to become basically Killer Frost without the powers, like she might still become a criminal or a murderer, or just basically somebody who doesn't care about others. She might lose her compassion.
I guess. Anyway, I'm torn on this episode, because on some points, we have good stuff. King Shark's fun. It's great to see Diggle and Lila. There are a few good moments with Wells.
But as we said, there's a lot of annoying things like a lot of characters being moody, which is why I'll only go as high as 7.
I'll give it a 7.5, because you got the dumb stuff like Wally, Barry's moody, Caitlin's moody, Cisco's moody. I mean, look, it is the expected result, because they just witnessed Jay die, and then it turns out Jay might be Zoom, or Zoom might be Jay, or something.
But they don't know that.
Yes, we know that. They'll find out soon. But, yeah. Although, Barry brings up a kind of dumb idea. He says we're going to go save Earth 2, which is fine, because I did point out that it's a dumb idea how when they wanted to go to Earth 2, because Harry was going to go back to Earth 2, and he just expected to go back and that's it. Barry said we can't ditch Earth 2, it's a whole world suffering. And what exactly did they do at the end of these 2 episodes? They close a breach and now there's a whole world suffering from Zoom.
Yeah.
Which, okay, so Barry says we're going to fix it, we're going to open the breaches, which wouldn't it make more sense to figure out how to defeat Zoom first, then open the breaches? Don't open the breaches till you know you've got a good plan.
Well, maybe they won't.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. But anyway, I'll give it a 7.5.
Yeah, I just said 7.
It's got good points with Diggle. It's got bad points with the moodiness. It's half and half.
Yeah.
But the ball is definitely rolling in the interesting plot department. I mean, if you're watching this for the first time, at least you end on... That's the thing, we're glossing over it, but if this is your first time, that ending is obviously a huge moment. And, if you're watching this the first time, it's the type of thing where you spend the next week waiting for the episode, talking about it online, going, what's this mean? It's Zoom, it's this thing. And it's that type of thing you always love to do after you watch a show. But when you're binging it or when you've seen it when you've already seen it.
Now that I think about it, because I'm trying to put myself in the perspective of someone who's just seen this, maybe that's what the mask guy was tapping. When he said Jay, maybe he was saying Jay is Zoom.
Oh, yeah, I would have pointed that out eventually, but that's why he was tapping Jay. I thought you figured that out.
Yeah, because, like you said, he didn't seem all that surprised when Zoom took off his mask, so we can assume he's seen his face before he knows what Zoom looks like without his mask.
And when we get more information on who that masked person is, spoilers, it'll make more sense why they would be terrified of the idea of Zoom killing Jay.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough about things you'll learn eventually, even though probably most of you watching this have seen it before. But anyway, the next episode is called Trajectory.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know what that is.
We are getting really close to... Actually, I know what all the next episodes are. We're getting close to a lot of big episodes.
I'll know once I see their names. We don't have the list in front of us, so...
Anyway, enough about that. Enough repeating ourselves. We'll see you next time for more Flash and other things as well.
See you next time, guys.